What is the mentality when you're only home for a day, and how are you guys dealing with all this travel?
How you deal with the day at home is probably different for different people in terms of recovery and then preparing to get back on the road, and if you have families and whatnot. But hopefully you try to find a little bit of a recharge and whatever you need to get while you're here. I think it's important, obviously, to just also at times get through these stretches and keep the main thing, which means we got a game tonight. And then after that, we got to do whatever we got to do. And so, every team, sometimes it feels like you're going through this storm when you look across the league and you just maybe look at box scores or see highlights. But we all go through it, and we have stretches, and we had a really long stretch in November that was great. And so you don't always talk about that as much. But yeah, it's just part of the deal.
Well, you probably don't have a specific update on Stefan and Victor, but will they be on the plane tonight?
They will not be on the plane. No flight tracking needed. It's a long trip, so we'll see where it goes. They are progressing. They are. Jordan as well. They're all progressing. It's going well. Unfortunately, sometimes there's decisions and not even we all agree upon, should we do this on the road or should we do it at home? When you walk through our facilities and see the resources and what we can get done here, especially as you're ramping up and getting more and more done, or trying to, and see how that, then how you react the next day, it's really hard to argue. And so, again, we have a long trip and they won't be on the plane tonight, but we hope they continue to progress and we'll see where that takes us.
That could mean joining you on the road somewhere?
It could. That doesn't mean that they'll play, doesn't mean that they will, but it definitely is a possibility.
How competitive those guys are, obviously coming off the big win against Denver on Friday night. Are they already in your ear about getting back for the Cup game next Wednesday?
Yeah, no, for sure. Luckily, I'm removed from all those decisions. I'm just do what I'm told. But those guys were watching. They were together. They talked to their teammates. They were excited. They want to travel. They want to be with the team. I think that's been something that's been cool about these guys for the last couple of years. They just want to be around, whether they're able to be on the court or not, and they all want to be on the court as well. And sometimes we got to save them from themselves and do what we think is what's in best interest of themselves and for the team.
What have you noticed in the absence of those guys? The offense has really managed to keep its head well above water. What have you noticed from these guys, especially from the guards and everyone, the way they've been able to sustain what's going on?
I think what's been good for us is since camp, even right when Fox was out, we've had to commit and then also kind of see how it goes in terms of our identity offensively. And I think what's been at least proof of concept now for a quarter of a season is we aren't solely dependent on one individual. And I think, there will still be clunkiness at times when people are playing together that haven't. But I think the more that we can play to that identity, and then through that identity and structure, there will be moments where individual talents and the cream rises to the top, and they'll be able to put a little extra, sprinkles and talent on top of it. But I think the guys have done a great job of trusting that their role can be enough if we're playing together and playing the right way.
How do you survive, and not just tonight, but over the course of their absences? How do you survive on the glass? I know Memphis has been, since Ja went down, I think the best rebounding team in the NBA. How do you gang rebound, I guess, would be the question to ask against
Memphis? You just got to fight. Physicality, competitiveness, anticipate, bring your hard hat, don't expect calls, go get the ball.
Simple.
Maybe a couple fouls along the way.
Hey, Coach, when Quinn was here, maybe a couple weeks now, but he raved about you. As we said, he followed you since you're both Seattle kids, followed you in high school, your career in high school, and then at Stanford. He talked about the team sort of taking on your personality as a player. I'm just curious what, kind of looking back now, maybe from a coaching standpoint, can you kind of describe your game when you were younger?
Yeah, I was. I'll to use Brett Brown's line. I was short, but I was slow. So, no, I was fortunate. I played for some really good coaches. I played with some really good players, and was exposed to high-level basketball early on from my dad and some others. So, I needed a certain level of competitiveness and. Whether it's acumen or trying to play the right way to survive, and I try to draw upon that as much as I can to help these guys. But yeah, these guys are shaping the identity of the team as much as anybody, and we're here as a staff to help them. So nice words from Quinn. He probably just said that because he's a good guy, but I appreciate it. And just because I was waiting for someone to ask, but Jacob Chance was the G League Coach of the Month. If anybody wants to know, we've taken all of his players, and he's still winning every game. So go Austin Spurs.